have been looking at ACORN for 4 to 5 years. I introduced my first amendment to unfund ACORN, at least tracking back through our records, in 2007. I drafted an amendment then, and there was no traction to be had. We couldn't get attention, even though, as we watched this unfold, the transgressions of ACORN accumulated month by month and year by year. And I would just take you back to the shakedown of lenders that precipitated some of the financial meltdown and the toxic mortgages. Think in terms of ACORN employees bragging about going into a lender's office and pushing his desk off against the wall and surrounding the lender and hollering and shouting and intimidating them and jamming the doorways of the lender's building so they can't do business until they pay off and get the shakedown paid away. And then having ACORN come back later on and say, but now you need to make bad loans in bad neighborhoods, and we'll tell you which neighborhoods. Community Reinvestment Act was about ending redlining, drawing red lines around districts. It's because lenders were areas that lenders were not loaning into, and it became ACORN redlining, saying to lenders, you shall loan here and we'll tell you who, and then we'll broker those loans. This went on. That's part of it. We've seen the over 400,000 fraudulent voter registration forms, false or fraudulent voter registration forms that ACORN has admitted to in the previous election cycle in swing states. We've seen ACORN operate as a partisan get-out-the-vote machine for Democrats with our U.S. tax dollars.
I'm here to talk about the lies that have been propagated by ACORN since the beginning of this story, when the first video was released on September 10th. On that day, ACORN stated that James and Hannah had been kicked out of multiple offices. The next day, we launched the Washington, D.C. video dispelling lie number 1. On that day, ACORN, Bertha Lewis, Scott Levinson started a new round of lies. That round of lies included that they had been kicked out of, among other offices, San Diego, Los Angeles, and Philadelphia, and New York as well. And so the next video that we dropped was New York, which showed that they had lied on day 2 as well. We have about 33 pages in a document that we're going to do in a PowerPoint presentation, but we only have 45 minutes here to give you the lies of ACORN. So we will provide for you how many lies ACORN has had. I can't think of one moment where ACORN has told the truth about what James and Hannah has done. In fact, ACORN was granted for free. Bertha Lewis was invited to come here to speak, where she propagated more lies, including the vicious and unfounded lie that James was motivated by race. She needs to apologize for that. It's not true. The Washington Post put that falsehood out there, and they retracted that. It is not right for her to be using that and to impugn the motives of these truth tellers, and that's one of the reasons that we're here today. ACORN has lied every step of the way, and ever since they sued these truth tellers and me, they've used the media to propagate a new slew of lies, including the lie of Philadelphia. They have lied that Hannah and James were kicked out of the Philadelphia ACORN office. They have lied that Hannah and James did not mention prostitution when they came in. We are here to dispel those lies. We are not going to allow the lawsuit to quash our First Amendment rights to tell the truth, to expose this corrupt order. I also want to point out that there's an organization by the name of Media Matters for America that was started by John Podesta and is run by David Brock. And this group has been at the forefront of an industry of trying to impugn the motives and to propagate the lies of ACORN. I do not understand the premise by which John Podesta is now the overseer of ACORN's internal investigation, when all I can see that ever since the lawsuit, when we haven't offered up a video since then because they're trying to intimidate us to stop telling the truth about ACORN, why John Podesta's organization is continuing to lie about Philadelphia. That is why we are here. We are here to tell the truth about what happened in Philadelphia.
America, ACORN lied to you. The employee in question lied to you. Bertha Lewis lied to you. The president of the Philadelphia organization lied to you. The head organizer in Philadelphia lied to you. Media Matters, which gets millions and millions and millions of dollars, couldn't do basic investigative fact-finding, but two amateur kids with a camcorder and $1,000 could. It's pathetic.
You guys have seen our work. James and I worked very hard to gather this footage. We've given it to the public because we think the American people deserve to know what's going on with their taxpayer dollars. I think that it's a shame that you guys are still running around, not you guys, but like Congress and the press specifically, wondering, oh, what should we do with this? What should we do with that? Underage girls being trafficked in from El Salvador to be used as sex slaves for a congressman's funds is wrong.